Hello. Today I thought I'd share a little video on something that doesn't happen often, but does happen occasionally. I went to inspect the property, and when I got there, it had some features that I wasn't aware of, and so I need to add a couple of new comparables to my report. So this particular home has solar panels, and none of my comparables had solar panels, so I needed to go and do a new search to get those that had solar panels. Also, it ended up having no basement finish, and so a couple of my comparables originally had basement finish. I'm going to replace them. So I've gone to my multiple listing service to the MLS and found a couple of new comparables. And I'm just going to input those. So I'm going to show you how to add them to the report after you've already exported once. So I'm going to hit the Add Property button in the number 6 or 7 spot. I'm just going to simply type in the MLS number that I want to add. I don't need to do another export file. I found these 2 additional comparables. They're just going to come. They were in my original search. I just had not used them. So comparable number 7 is now there, and then I'm going to add one more. These properties are more similar to my subject. They have solar panels, and both also have unfinished basements. They're close to the neighborhood. They're close in the neighborhood. You'll see here they're not very far away. So I've added those 2. I'm going to go and just make a couple of quick edits here that I like to do. I'm going to look at the deed verification, and sure enough, we have the deed on that one. And then we're going to look for this one was in January. Here we go. And then let me see if there were any priors. Nope. Okay, so we're going to save that. And then the reason I put them in the 7 and 8 spot is they're going to be easier to add to my form vendor to the report. Both of these are newer homes, C2s. This one has 6 rooms above grade. This one has 5. And this one has that solar panel, central air. I like to move the solar down to the energy efficient aisles or line. So I'm going to just put that in real quick. You can do this either here or in the form. I kind of like doing it here because that then when I transfer it, it'll stay in my comp tracker database. Alright, so I'm ready to add these to my new report. So depending on the form vendor that you have, you might have to add an additional comparable page, which is what I've done. I'm just going to unselect all of the comparables in the send and review section, and I'm only going to send comps number 7 and comp number 8. So I hit OK. Tells me that I'm moving 2 properties in. I don't need to move the competing property graph in anymore, and I don't need to move the subject in. So I'm unchecking the subject and unchecking the competing market. So I'm now going to send this to my report. The report's already open. It'll take just a second to create the wizard to merge into the existing report. Keeping everything in my report, I'm going to only merge the new items. You want to make sure that you do this for your particular software vendor to where you don't override things that are in your existing report. We've now opened this report up. I go to my 789 page. You can see that they've come in. I'll have a little bit more cleaning up to do. But basically, it's not very difficult. You can add just a couple of comparables. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down, and I like to bring in this ownership history into my remarks. So I'm just going to select comparables 7 and 8. I'm holding down the arrow key. I'm holding down the shift key, sorry, and then selecting with my mouse. I cut and paste it, and then I'm going to put that in my comments addendum, which is where I like it to go, and then I'll swap them around here in a minute. So I just bring that in, and then I'll go through and review all of this information, determining which part I want to save in the report, present to my client, and which parts I want to delete out. So simply, that's how you move it, how you add a couple of comparables afterwards. Thank you and have a great day.